going on? So beautiful fall day here in Michigan. Beautiful day for football. Actually on my way to work right now, but I've had an interesting thought. So I'm wondering, like, there'll be times I'm out in public and, sometimes on the job, and a girl will come in and I won't really notice her until she comes up and comes up to my register, and I'm thinking, like, and she has interest. The girl, and like, it's weird. Girls I didn't even notice tend to show me more interest. And I'm thinking, like, were they actually not that interested, but they're interested now because I'm not paying attention? Or are they just, or were they interested the whole time and I've created more interest by being a little dismissive? So I've kind of had that as an interesting thought that I've kind of had there. But yeah, there's so many. That's what's fun working in a store where a bunch of people come in. There's a lot of different interactions. You deal with some crackheads. There's a lot of different interactions that go on. You never know. Some people are really funny. Some people, want to talk to you. Some people aren't friendly. It's fun, all the different interactions. And that's, Andrew Tate talks about experience. Experience and competence. And confidence, it comes with, a lot of times, it's just life lived. So if you want to get good at a video game, you got to practice the video. You're going to put in hours practicing the video game to, have the experience. Like in Fortnite, if you want to, get better in Fortnite, you need to play more often, get more experience with, on the map and stuff like that. I guess that's kind of a weird analogy comparing Fortnite to life, but in life you got to go out, social gatherings, you got to go out to work, you got to get experience working with different people, different ages, different sexes, different races. That's all part of that's all part of getting experience in life. But yeah, I'm finding the last couple of days really struggling with not necessarily motivation, but kind of the discipline to finish my workouts for whatever reason. I think that I noticed that, days that, if you're a guy who's pretty big and you go to the gym and you're like really locked in your workout, I notice people do not really like to talk to you. I noticed there was one guy that came up to me. He's like, "Excuse me, sorry to bother you." He's like just being really nice and polite, and then just asked to borrow a couple tens off the weight rack. I'm like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." I'm thinking, like, dudes, like if you're a big, fairly in shape guy at the gym, dudes usually they just do not bother you too much. So yeah, it's just kind of that respect factor. I've noticed, like, I think a lot of smaller dudes in the gym, I've noticed people just like take weights off their rack. I think that's the thing about the gym. Sometimes if you are a smaller dude, it's kind of, I can see why the intimidation factor's there. People just assume you're not as dedicated. Sometimes, in life, kind of your physical physique, your appearance is such a critical factor in, like, the amount of respect that people garner you. You could work jobs are all respected, but you could work a low-end job, but if you don't, if you're really scrawny, if you're really obese, you're not, it's not that people would blatantly disrespect you, but you're just not, people will not give you as much respect when they talk to you, as opposed to if you're in fantastic shape. Yeah, I was watching Fresh and Fit last night, and they had a video of this dude who, this guy who went on a date and this girl flaked. So he went on TikTok and started crying about it. He brought her flowers. He talking to her 2 weeks, brought her flowers. I'd say, to critique the man for a minute, I'd say 2 weeks is way too long to be talking to a girl before you set up a date. At that point, who knows how many different guys she had been talking to at that point? Who knows how many dates she could have went on 3-4 dates So that's the thing. That was the first thing that came to my mind. Oh, heck yeah. This guy's smoking a cigar next to me. What a G. But yeah, she could have went on 3 or 4 dates. Who knows how many other guys slid into her DMs. And yeah, it's but anyways, yeah, so he posts on TikTok a video of him talking about it, crying about it. So yeah, it's in the girls reacting to it on Fresh and Fit were like laughing about it. And I'm thinking, like, you know, I had made a take before about how savage women are. If that doesn't show how savage women can be, then I don't really know what does. Because, you know, that just shows the dude looked, I don't know, he didn't look like he was like great. He didn't look like he was like very overweight, but he looked like he was a little overweight. You know, not the best looking guy. Guy that definitely can probably try to max his looks a little bit. I don't know what he does for work. I don't know if he has any sort of status in his community or online or any sort of presence online. But, you know, to me, that's just a tough blow. Because say this guy works, I don't know, say this guy works a normal job, gets on dating apps, maybe sucks down some couple Mountain Dew, some chips at night, and he just gets stood up like that. That can be really tough. You know, that's the thing I think with average dudes, why it's so hard is, you know, you can say abundance mentality, you know, there's, you know, plenty of fish in the sea, all the different, you know, phrases for, you know, that there's a lot of women out there. But the average guy, you know, it's more so, it can be a several months, yearly thing before they meet another woman that really matched that actually has, you know, somewhat of interest in them, at least enough interest to go on a date. So that's why it can be really tough for the average guy, because you know, it could be a long time in between an interaction or a date with women before they meet another one. You know, I use the analogy, it's like if you're in the, you know, men who struggle with abundance mentality, if you're in the desert looking for water and you find one glass of water every hour or every, you know, 30, 40 minutes, it's you know, you're struggling to find water, you're going to appreciate that water a little bit more. You're going to, you know, it's not, that's the thing with the average guy, they, you know, that one date is going to mean a lot. It's going to be, you know, they're going to have to make sure they do not mess that up. But yeah, the problem with the girls on Fresh and Fit, I guess a lot of women fit this criteria. A lot of the girls they have on there are really going for like the top level guys. So that's the thing. A lot of the girls, their reaction to the video was, "Oh, just move on to the next, you know, next girl, get another girl." But it's hard. It's easier said than done, and it's easier for women to say that because they have so many options that, you know, they can just easily move on to the next guy. For a guy like that, it's just, you never know. Who knows? That could have been potentially his first date in a year, 2 years, 3 years. You never know. That's why, you know, it is tough. It's tough out here, and I think as other men, I think men completely understand, you know, where that guy's going through. But yeah, someone commented that's why, how, you know, pimps, players, dudes that are just savage, pump and dump with women, that's how those guys are created, is stuff like that. You know, men just have to become absolute savages, you know, out in the game. Cruising down the highway here. much, yeah. Who knows what action that guy's going to take? You know, that guy could either take the route of invest all that anger and energy as opposed to posting videos of that on TikTok and continue and just level up and become a monster in the gym, so no girl will ever do that to him again. Or he can probably just sit, sulk, and play and stay with a scarcity mindset. So I think, posting that on social media could be harmful, because I think a lot of guys will back him up and be like, "Oh, it's okay," and then they'll just kind of get a dopamine hit from that temporary sensation, and then feel better, so that he's not as motivated to make a change. But the ideal situation is for him to get better, start hitting the gym, get his money up, get some status. That's the thing. There's an argument. People argue, having a great physique is important to attracting women. I think that is so true, but I'm starting to lean towards more that status is so important. I think status may trump looks and money. I think it definitely trumps money, but status is big. It's because, women want to, especially promiscuous women. Obviously, you don't want to deal with them ideally long term, but I think promiscuous women want to hook up with a guy with some status, so they can go report to the girls and say, "Look at who I hooked up with. I hooked up with, Kyle from Nelk, or Austin Dunham, or Tiger Woods, or Tom Brady. I hooked up with one of these top level guys." That's why status is so important when it comes to attracting and dealing with women. Yeah, I've kind of made a promise to myself to hit the gym every day. And it's not just about building a great physique. It's not just about feeling good. It's about knowing that I can discipline myself to do something every day. I think that's absolutely critical to having success, not only in the gym, but for making money, for relationships. Can you discipline yourself to do something every day? If you look at, obviously I sound more of a red pill guy. If you look at relationships where the men and the women do something, discipline themselves to do something every day, whether they pray together, whether they have a meal together, notice those couples sometimes, or oftentimes, have a really good relationship. So discipline yourself to do something. Like, if you discipline yourself 2 hours every day to try to make some money, whether that's investing in crypto, stocks, whether that's 2 hours on your online or your Shopify store, you can just dedicate 2 hours every day. That's probably gonna eventually help you be successful in that aspect. So just doing something, disciplining yourself to do something every day is so important. It's so critical.